Hey, good day, everybody. Welcome back to our Chavruta sessions, live from Jerusalem with Rabbi Chaim Goldberg of the Noahide World Center. Just having some chat going on there in the Zoom meeting. So, Rabbi, are you there? We're going to turn the class over to you.
I'm here. Yes, you can see me. Yes, everybody. Good evening,
right.
everybody. Good evening. Good evening from Jerusalem. I don't know. The truth is that we had a very, very big pledge meeting today, and we had people, I think, from all over the world. We had people from Australia. We had people from Europe. We had people from South America, North America, from Turkey, from Turkish area. We had there a lot of languages, and I think that it's encouraging to know that more and more people are joining this path. And with this, I will say, excitement and energy, let's learn something tonight. So good to see you all in Israel. The war is still alive, even though we managed to do a lot of things, but the war is still alive, unfortunately. But let's learn something. I want to teach today something that I never went inside too much to this issue, but it's important, I think, and it will give us, if you ask me, the right way of thinking, to think in the right path. And the Hebrew, I will say, the Hebrew sages and how they see things. But for this, I want to start with a parallel, with an example, okay? We all know that the chain, boats are using the chain to put in the sea, to put how do you say it in English, the organ, the part that is stabling the boat.
Anchor.
The anchor, that's right, the anchor. The boat, we have the chain. And we all know that the strength of the chain is according to the most weak part of the chain. Okay, this will be the weakest link will be the main part or the most, strengthened of this chain. On the same level, that's not at the weakest side. Okay, on the same level, if we will find one, enough even one, okay, of all the commandments in the Torah that is above our understanding, it's enough that only one of them will be like that. It's showing that in all of the things of the Torah, all the commandments of the Torah, all the mitzvot of the Torah are in this level. Okay, and I will explain this like that. There's a say that the Torah and the commandments, the Torah is also, the word Torah in Hebrew is to teach you how to behave, what to do, and what are the actions that you need to do. So the Torah, the commandments of the Torah, it's being parallelized or being similar to a tree. Now, if you will take a tree, when you plant a tree inside the ground, so you're taking, for example, the apple, you're taking the seeds of the apple, you're putting it inside the ground, and it's rotten. Those seeds are getting rotten, and then it's becoming a new tree. And this tree, it's have the roots, it's have the main part of the tree, and then it's have all the leaves, whatever it is, and also all the apples. But in each apple, you have again another seed that can bring us a full apple tree, right? So in each, it's the same thing. The Torah is like a tree, okay? The tree of the Torah. And the Torah, what God gave us, in each apple, in each commandment, okay, you have inside it, the whole Torah. It's connected to the whole Torah, to the whole tree. Each fruit, each thing that you need to do, have the seed inside that you can build up again the whole Torah. And I want to speak today about a commandment that we had last week or yesterday that we read yesterday. And this is a commandment of the, let me open it. Commandment of the red cow. How do you say it in English? I'm sorry. Yes, the red heifer, right. I said it more than once lately. And the red heifer is something that is starting, okay, with a word that we don't understand. Let's see it for a moment, and then we will try to understand it a bit. Not too much, but then we will see. Okay, so let's read for a moment. Let's read verses number 1 and 2, please. 1 and 2 and 3, please. I'm sorry. No,
And the chapter number, please.
19. It's
Of which book, Rabbi?
The book is Numbers. Okay, Bamidbar, chapter 19.
Okay.
Read the first 3, please.
Okay, the Lord spoke to Moses and Aaron, saying, This is the statute of the Torah which the Lord commanded, saying, Speak to the children of Israel to have them take for you a perfectly red, unblemished cow upon which no yoke was laid.
And you shall give it to Elazar the Kohen, the son, and he shall take it outside the camp and slaughter it in his presence, and then he's also burning it. And the main thing of this, we'll call it this red cow, is that it's impuring people who got connected with the dead people. Okay, when someone is dying, his soul is going up, to heaven, and his body is staying here. And those who are touching or dealing, it's a lot of very specific rules, I will call it like that. But you're getting, I would say, connected with the death, okay, with the dead person, with his body. So you need to get back to be impure. You need to be back in a holy way, that you're not being connected to this part of the death. And the way is by taking this red cow, slaughtering it, burning it, okay? And after that, and you're also taking, please read verse number 6.
6. The Cohen shall take a piece of cedar wood, hyssop, and crimson wool, and cast them into the burning of the cow.
So we're taking and we're burning everything together, and then we're putting it inside the water, okay? And we're dripping it on people. Now, the most amazing thing is that after we're dripping it on people, they're getting back very pure, okay? Just a moment. Just a moment, let me find the exact verse. It says here that you need to just a moment. Read the 10, 11, and 12.
All right, 10. The one who gathers the cow's ashes shall wash his clothes, and he shall be unclean until evening. It shall be an everlasting statute for the children of Israel, an everlasting statute for the children of Israel, and for the proselyte who resides in their midst. Anyone touching the corpse of a human soul shall become unclean for 7 days. On the 3rd and 7 days he shall cleanse himself with it, so that he can become clean. But if he does not sprinkle himself with it on the 3rd and 7th days, he shall not become clean.
Now, the most amazing thing here is that on one side, the Kohen who is dealing with this issue is becoming unclean. This is what we read in verse number 10. But the one who is being, that this water and the sprinkle was putting on him in the third and the seventh day, he is becoming pure again. He is becoming clean again. And this is one of the mysterious things of this, we'll call it a commandment, okay? That the one who is dealing with this, the Kohen, the priest that is dealing with this thing, and curing the other one, but he himself is getting unpure, is getting unclean. So we don't understand 100% what's happening here. And this is mainly what also King Solomon will say about this specific commandment. I said to myself, this is what King Solomon is saying. I said to myself that I'm going to be smart, but with this thing, it was above me. I can't understand this thing. Now, so if I will summarize, okay, we want to, on one side, that people will be very far from the death, that they want, that I don't know if you saw all the thing that is happening today in the last 3 days in the Shia side of the Muslims. I don't know if you saw it. Lara, I see Lara nodding her heads because she knows that. But they are doing a lot of harming to themselves, and they have some sort of a ceremony that they really splitting bloodshed on themselves, from themselves, okay? You know what I can find for a moment if you want. It's very not nice pictures to see that. They're hurting themselves, they're gathering thousands of people together with swords, and they're hurting themselves. And they have a lot of blood on themselves because they are mourning about one of the big Shia people that died, okay? He died a few hundred years ago, but this is one of the ceremonies that people are doing, and it's not the only, I'm giving it as an example because it's happening in those days, but it's not, it was also lately, or the last 3 days, it happened also in England and also in the United States, and also not only in the Iranian country. Some sort of a ceremony for the death, okay, mourning on the death people. And our Torah is trying to move us aside from this, so it's giving us all sorts of, as it's called, the statute, okay? It's not something that you can understand. It's above the understanding, and we don't understand this till then. So we have one of the explanations that we have here, and this is something that is giving us, that it's a bit more connected to us, that when someone is getting connected with the death people, with the body of someone who died, so he needs to be humbled with himself. And how exactly is he becoming humbled? Okay, just a moment, sorry, okay. How exactly is he becoming humble? If he is taking, the most tree that is on the ground and a tree that is very high, and he's putting them together, so he's starting to remind to himself that he's supposed to humble himself, not to feel that he's very high and to understand that he's very short or very low. Fair enough. We have a lot of explanations about these commandments and all sorts of ideas that are coming inside of this. But the main explanation is that we don't understand. And I want to show you for a moment. Let me see if I can find it in a very straight. I had the Midrash. The Midrash is saying to us, we need to read the Midrash. Let me find it for a moment, just a moment. Where is it? I know, I'm ready now. Can you see my screen? You see my screen, right? The Zoom screen. Okay, so let me stop share for a moment and let me look inside to find it, and I will show you. Just a moment. How it is. Here it is. This is where I found this is where I found it in English, okay? Just a moment, let me find it. Here's not Phonos. You know what? Let's read here where I find it in English. let's read the Sforno for a moment, and then we'll read something much more profound. I know. I need to show it. Patience. I'm going to share it. I know. Just I saw it in English, so I'm sharing it with you. Yes. Now you can see it. Excellent. This is the Sforno explanation. The Sforno was one of the commentaries that he lived something like 550 years ago. He's taking it from other places of the inside of the Jewish understanding. He's giving a bit of explanation about this specific commandment, but we will move in a moment to another stage, please. So
okay.
This is
the crux of the mystery is its property of contaminating the pure and purifying the contaminated. Perhaps we may catch a little of its significance in our attempt to understand the observance. One of the fundamental requirements is that the heifer had to be completely red. The prophet has explained that sin is described as red. Through your sins, though your sins be as scarlet, they shall be as white as snow, from Isaiah 1:18. We should bear in mind that Torah recommends the golden mean. All extremes are undesirable. There is no better way of rectifying misdoing, or the crooked, regaining the middle way by veering to the other extreme. The cedar symbolizes pride, the hyssop the opposite. The scarlet thread between symbolizes that both are sinful. It has been said that Saul was punished for not caring about his own dignity, erring on the side of humility. Thus, though this precept is a statute which has not to be questioned, possessing without doubt a sublime meaning known to the king who commanded it, it contains an allusion to the way of repentance to be followed by every sinner, that he should tend to the other extreme in order to regain the middle path and be purified. But while this corrective measure is beneficial and purifying for the sinner, it is wrong and defiling for every pure heart.
So
I believe the Rambam explained this as well.
Exactly. He's following the path of the Rambam, and we spoke about this Rambam when we learned the Fathers of the Ethics, the opening for the Fathers of the Ethics of the Rambam, the Maimonides, that he is saying that we need to be in the middle side. And the Sforno here is basically taking some ideas, from this red cow, from this, I will say, commandment, and he's explaining to us, go on the middle side, don't go on the sin side. You need to be, and it's hinting all sorts of ideas that is giving us something that we can relate to. And he's mentioning the Sforno. The only reason why I'm giving it from here, because here you have it in English. Someone translated it in English. I didn't find it in any other places in English. But the Sforno is trying to take ideas from this commandment and to explain it to us. Be in the middle side. Don't be in the highest level. Don't be too much humbled. Cure yourself from sins. And this is what this commandment is trying to give us. But this is a Sforno. I want to go to the main part of our sages, and with Rabbi Yochanan, what he said. Again, I have it here let me see where it is. Yes, this is the thing. The Talmudic side, okay? Here it is, please. A certain heathen asked Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai, please.
Yes, a certain heathen asked Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai, the rites you perform in connection with the red heifer smell of witchcraft. You bring a heifer, burn it, grind it, and take its ashes. You sprinkle 2 or 3 drops on one of you who is contaminated with corpse defilement, and say to him, you are clean. Said Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai to him, have you never been possessed by a demon? He answered, no. Have you never seen a man possessed by a demon? He answered, yes. And what do you do for him? We bring herbs and make them smoke beneath him and throw water on him, and the demon is exorcised. He answered, let your ears hear what your mouth has spoken. The spirit of defilement is the same as your demon. We sprinkle on it the waters of purification, and it is exorcised. After the heathen had left, Rabbi Yochanan's disciples said to him, Him you have put off with a straw, but what answer will you give us? He replied to them, By your life, neither does the dead defile, nor the water purify, but the Holy One, blessed be he, said, It is a statute I have laid down, a decree that I have decreed, and you are not authorized to violate my decree.
You see what's happening here. At the beginning, he's saying, or Rabbi Yochanan, when he speaks with a Gentile, okay, someone that is not from the Jewish community, so he's saying to him, look, this is the same thing that you're doing. We're doing something a bit similar, a bit else, but it's on the same level. But his students, okay, his Jewish students, they didn't accept this. They said to him, Rabbi Yochanan, you need to explain to us what's happening here. And the answer of Rabbi Yochanan is very amazing. He's answering them, look, the truth is that also to understand that someone that died, okay, to define him as something that is impure, this definition is also something that God gave us, okay? And it's all, he says it, okay, here, it's something that God decided, how the structure of the world is working and functioning for us, and we need to follow that, even if we don't understand. Now, there are a few levels of understanding of this thing that we said here. The most important one is that there is, I will call it, one of the chains, okay, that we have in this part of the 613 commandments is a commandment that we don't understand fully what exactly it says, or what exactly its purpose, or how to exactly to understand it. It's above our understanding. And from here we learn that even all the rest of the commandments, even if we understand them in our level, still the reason that we are accepting them and doing them, it's because we are accepting God upon us, not because we think it's very reasonable to do it. I will give an example. Okay, one of the commandments is we're not allowed to kill, and do not kill. Fair enough. Why are we doing it? We're doing it because it's reasonable not to kill? No, we're doing it because God said to us. We also understand that it's reasonable not to kill. Don't steal. Okay, why are we doing it? We're doing it because it's reasonable not to steal. That if everybody will start to steal one from each other, the world won't be able to stay alive. Okay, we saw it already more than once that the reason, okay, that there was the flood according to the Jewish tradition, and it's written down in the Bible. It was because people stole one from each other without any reason. Okay, and this is why God said we can't continue with this world like that. But of course, it will damage the world if we will steal one from each other. But the reason why we're doing it is, first of all, and mainly because God commanded us, and we are taking upon ourselves, I'm calling it, we call this all Malchut Shamayim, okay? The sake of heaven, we're taking upon ourselves. And this is why we're doing those things. And we're learning this from this specific commandment, that we don't really have, I will say, the explanations, the full explanations and the full understanding. So this is one level. But I want to go one step further, as usual, and to explain even something more than that. And this is something that I'm telling you on behalf of Rabbi Sherki. I heard it from him. I learned from few rabbis, but this is one of the things that I really took from him, and I think that it's an amazing idea to think about this. The main commandment of this thing, of this red cow, is how to bring someone that got connected with the death, okay? How to bring him back to be pure again, okay? To be clean, to be pure. And this is one of the ways that we deal, that the Hebrew nation is dealing with the death, but also with the life. Now, if you will go to the science, not only of today, in the last 3,000 years, okay? Since Aristotle, since all the big philosophers, along all of history. Even if you will go to Darwin, who said that all of this world came, step by step, step by step. No one have the answer of the secret of life. Check me out. No one have the answer of the secret of life. The situation where suddenly a body, a functioning body, have something inside that it's alive, it's feeling, it's have the hurt, it's getting hurt, it's getting have emotions, thinking, all those things, and everybody is very different from the other one. Nobody have the explanation how this thing is happening. So along history, the secret of life, what we call one of the mysterious, of the most amazing things. We have a blessing. We have a special blessing when we go out from the toilet. Every time that we go out from the toilet, we're blessing God for this mysterious body that we have, and that He is preserving together the soul with the body. I don't know if you remember, but we all know that if you will take a balloon and you will put the air inside the balloon, and you will start to put more, it will get bigger. If there will be a small hole in the balloon, what will happen to the air? It will go out. Each body that we are holding have a lot of holes, okay? We have few holes. We have the ears, we have the nose, we have the mouth, we have the the eyes. We have more holes, but the spirit is staying inside, connected with the body. And this connection between the spirit and the body is something that no one have the explanation. I will give a simple example and you will see. If I'm taking the billiard balls and I'm putting, I'm pushing one billiard ball and it's pushing the other billiard ball, it's physically, we can explain that. But if I'm asking you, how come my hand has raised up or it's going down? We don't have explanation. I want, fair enough. So if you want something inside with yourself, you have a will, how come it's raising up your hand? James, do me a favor, please. James, you with me? Do me a favor, please. Raise up your hand. James, can you raise up your hand, please? So we will all see. Great. Thank you very much. Who forced you to do that?
You did.
No, I didn't force you. I asked you nicely. You answered me. Fair enough. You did for me a favor.
You're the boss.
I'm not. He is the boss. Don't forget. Only God. But the truth is, think about this for a moment. You raise up your hand. It's not like the billiard ball, okay? When I'm tracking one of them, with my stick, I'm a very good billiard ball player. Be careful with me. Okay? I'm cracking one of them. The other one is pushing, going to the other side. We can explain this physically. How come, James, you raised up your hand? Because I asked you to do. The life, the mysterious of life is something that we don't understand. And this is what this specific, I'm calling it a parsha, this specific commandment is teaching us. It's teaching us that we don't understand the mysterious of life. This is something that along history, all of philosophers, okay, that we had along history, all the biological people, we don't know to explain that. I will give you another example, very short, small one, but it's explaining everything. You know that when we were in our mother's womb, we didn't breathe from the length that we had any air. We took the oxygen that we needed to grow up in our mother's womb through the belly button and through the water that we were swimming inside our mother, right? She gave us everything here to the belly button, right? What happened in the moment that we went out? In the moment that we went out, it's swapping. The belly button is getting closed straight ahead. We're helping it. And the length are opening. And we're starting to, at the beginning, we're crying, okay? And then we're starting to, from then till the end of our life, we're breathing. And the oxygen is coming through the breathing. This mysterious thing of life, okay, that the body is containing the soul, and the soul is inside the body and connected with the body. This mysterious is a mysterious that we don't have the explanation how it's happening. I will give another example. I will give another thing, okay? We are all elder people here, so we can speak about this. And it's not a sexy issue that I'm going to say. I'm going to say facts, okay? 35 years ago, I had a very interesting conversation with a very famous and important doctor here in Israel that was one of the people that did a lot of VHF, okay? That he organized the outside, okay? Small, how do you say it in English? To implement inside the body of the woman when they didn't have the possibility of through a normal sexual way to bring life, so they did it outside, okay, in the lab, and then they implemented inside the body of the woman. And we have a lot of those things today. Thank God, a lot of people who can't have or can't bring kids in a normal way, the science and the medicine are helping them. And he said to me something amazing. He said to me, even if you will take 100 couples that they are in a good shape, they are strong, they are healthy, whatever it is, and the women is in the side or in the days that she can give birth, and they will do a sexual interaction between themselves, only 20% are going to give birth, and the 80% it's not going to work. And we don't know why it's so low with the percentage, and we don't know who is going to become a human being and who is not. Not Chaim Goldberg said it, okay? A big professor in the university, that was working in health, and he said to me those numbers. And he said that the science doesn't know, they don't know why it's only 20%. And they don't know also to say who are going to be the 20%. Because we are not controlling life. And the decision of bringing life to this world is a mysterious that we don't even know how to define it in the right words. So we have all sorts of words, nice words, but we don't really know. We don't really know how is this connection between the body and the soul. So we have a say. Let me see if I can find it straight ahead. Let me go back from the share. And in a moment, I will try to share the screen again. In Safari, let's see if I can find it here straight ahead. And if we have it in English, okay? Let me share the screen again. Sorry. Okay, you can see I'm Sfaria, right? All right, let's see. Let's see that I can find. This is one of the halachic things that we have. Not this one. This. Here it is. Let's see if we have it also in English. Okay, I'm not promising. Let's see. Hey! It's a beginning, so we have it also in English. Okay. Okay. It's a beginning, how to start the day. Okay, we have here a few halachic, I would say, instructions. How to start the day. It's operated, okay? How to operate your opening of the day. And one of the things that you do while your eyes are still, closed, just went to the bathroom for a moment and you woke up. So let's read here.
Point 6.
Yes, 6, but we don't need to read it until the end. I will start. Here it is. We need to read it until here. Okay, let's see it here. Let's read this. Please.
Okay. He should recite the blessing. He who created empty cavities, halulim, but he should not say empty cavities, halim, as an allusion to the subject of empty cavities. Halulim, which counts 248 like the sum of a person's parts, see in chapter 6 of Oholat, where he enumerates all 248 of a person's parts. It is impossible to exist, as it is stated in Tractate Nida, the entire time that an infant is in its mother's womb, its navel is open and its mouth is closed. When it emerges into the world, air, the closed opens and the opened closes. For where it is not so, it is impossible to endure. It is a wonder to create such as is stated in the Midrash, for you are great creating wonders. A person is like a water skin full of air. Should a person make a perforation in a water skin the size of a needlepoint, the air comes out. Yet a person is full of openings, yet his spirit is kept within him, which is performing wonders. But if he goes immediately to the synagogue and wishes to delay reciting concerning a hand washing until he comes to the synagogue, when he will put them in order with the rest of the blessings, he has the authority.
So there is another blessing that is related with his impuring of his hands. But the main issue here is to realize that we have a mysterious issue of holding the spirit with the body together. And this is what we call life. And this is something that only God created. So if I will summarize for a moment what we saw today, we can explain a lot of ideas that are hinted inside this red cow, how did we call it? Red cow statue, okay? But there's another level. And this level is teaching us that there are things that are above our understanding. And from here we learn, first of all, to the rest of the commandments. We're doing them because we're accepting ourselves something that is above our understanding. We're doing some of the things, it's very nice, we really understand them, or we can give explanation for them. But we're not doing them because of those explanations. As we saw with the chain, that the most weakest one is giving us the strength of the chain. We see here the same thing on the other side. The most strongest one, the most statute thing that we need to do is teaching us that all of the commandments are with the ideas that we can't understand. This is that we're explaining. Some of them is very nice, but this is the strength of this chain of those commandments that we are doing, and we're doing them because God obeyed us to do them. And then we learned another thing. We went in, and this is where we saw also what I said till now, what we saw also with Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai, where he explained things in one way, but then he explained them in a way that God commanded, and we're doing them. And then we went another stage, and we explained that the mysterious of life, that we don't know how to explain, how come and how it's working, how it's functioning. And we know to say words, but we don't really understand. I said, go to the Darwin learning, and you will see that he also doesn't explain how life came to this world. He is explaining technically a few things, but he doesn't know to explain the exact way that life came to this world. Nobody really knows how to do that. Not all, not the philosophers, not others. We have all sorts of definitions that we say, but those definitions are not explaining this thing. And this is one of the most wonders that we also bless God every time that we go out from the toilets. And when we understand that we are on one side functioning in a body, in the laws of nature, and on the other side, we also have the side of the spirit. And this Wonder is what we're saying here, statute, that God is giving life to this world. We don't really know to explain that. We don't really know how it's happening. And we thanking God every morning for getting another day of doing things here in this world. And we remember all the time that we are not the people, we're not in charge of taking life from others. This is more or less what I wanted to say today. Something I'm learning from the Parsha. By the way, now I can stay, or we can finish with a question, okay? And you need to ask yourself something for, you don't need to answer me now, okay? Think about this week, okay? What are the statutes, okay, that you're holding with yourself that are holding you or keeping you from growing, that you can change, that you can't change? Because this issue of statute is something that is coming from the authority and from the main authority that we have, okay, from God. But sometimes we're putting on ourselves all sorts of imagining statutes that are stopping us. Ask yourself, try to find this week with yourself, something for yourself, for your life. And this is more or less what I wanted to say tonight. I have a few more minutes, so we can have questions, or if people want to ask something or to know something. And if not, we can also, tonight go a little bit early outside.
Rabbi Collins has his hand up.
Okay, fine. Just before you're saying something, Collins, I want to say, Vincent, and everybody else, we fixed up, okay? The donations, whatever it is, people can give donations from all over the world. Everything is open. Just that you will know. Okay, you said to me, send me something, so I'm taking the opportunity. Yes, please, Collins,
Okay.
please.
Yeah, I watched some YouTube videos that talked about the red heifer, and those videos were saying that it is normally not a common available animal, but they say that when it will be found, it will signify that the third temple will be built. I don't know if that information is available, whether it's a fact or it's a YouTube, just YouTube talk.
The truth is that it's true, okay? And we have two, I will say, we have few rabbis who are already growing up the red cow. One of them is in Shiloh, and the other one is in the Golan Heights. A few in Shiloh and a few in Golan Heights. It's interesting because they brought them from other places of the world. And the truth is that part of the, if I will call it, the war, the fight, okay, that there is around the mosque, okay, in Jerusalem with the Arabs, is this issue, because they are very afraid that we will do this thing of the red cow, because they know that when we will do that, it's one step ahead before we will start to build up the Temple Mount again.
Yeah. Back in April, Rabbi Skobach and his wife were there in Israel, and he took pictures of a Noahide farmer there that is looking after 6 red heifers, and he's just faithful in his tending of these animals, because they can't do any work specifically. They're not allowed to ever have a yoke on them, so they need specific care. And I spoke with the Skobach.
And there is a Noahide, here in Shiloh. It's not far from where I live. There's a Noahide here in Shiloh that is dealing with them, and he's doing a very good job. And there's a lot of preparation around it. It's a secret.
Exciting.
You can't say this on the internet, but I don't know.
Right. Yeah, it could change the whole status there at the Temple Mount for sure. Yeah, and I can see why.
Today, also, when we go to the Temple Mount, we go around it. We're not going inside. We're not allowed.
Right.
Okay, but after we will do this statute of the red cow, we will be able to go inside and to do everything.
Yeah, the areas will be known, clearer for sure. Yeah, exactly.
But this is one of the reasons why we have the big war now. We didn't define the war, that it's about the Temple Mount. Who defined it as the war of the Temple Mount? The Arabs. They call this war Tufan al-Aqsa. Okay, Tufan is the flood. It's words in Arabic, okay? Tufan al-Aqsa. Tufan is flood. Al-Aqsa is the place of the Temple Mount, okay? And they said that this is a war that they want to conquer back the Al-Aqsa, okay? The Temple Mount, that we won't be able to be there. And it's true that they're losing it also. And this is the main issue of the war.
Makes sense to me. It does. I see we have Rabbi Hirschler with us. Rabbi Hirschler, have you heard much of this or anything you want to weigh in?
I will say two sentences in Hebrew to Rabbi Hirschler. He will understand what we spoke, okay? With your permission. It's a rabbi to rabbi. הרב הרשלר, שלום וברכה, ערב טוב.
כן, כן.
אני דיברתי על פרה אדומה, דיברתי בשלוש רמות. רמה אחת זה הסברים כמו שהספורנו נותן, קצת הסברים טכניים. אחר כך הסברתי את רבי יוחנן, חוקה חקקתי, גזירה גזרתי, צריך להקשיב אחריהם, ומזה למדתי אם זה החוליה של השרשרת, זה מלמד על כל החוליות בשרשרת, שכולם הם גם מצד החוקה, יש בהם מצד של חוקה, ולא רק הסברים, ואחר כך הסברתי שיש גם כן עניין של לא יודעים את סוד החיים, החיבור בין נשמה לגוף, וזה בעצם העניין של פרה אדומה, שזה אחד מהחוקות שלו, אין לזה הסברים. אוקיי. I summarized for him everything, but he is a knowledgeable rabbi more than me, so he understood it.
That's taking it a little bit far, but very, very impressive session. I heard part of it, and the rabbi obviously elaborated even further. I think that one of the amazing things that we learned from this story is the potential of a person's elevation on a spiritual level. I'm not so sure that I'm already that far of working out whether this is going to bring the immediate final redemption and the result on the Temple Mountain. But what is definitely true, what the rabbi is saying, is that our enemies are definitely trying to turn the battle and struggle into a religious crisis. And in that sense, of course, the struggle with Iran even highlights it even further because they are very fundamentalist in their own direction. And I totally agree with the rabbi that if there is a serious religious struggle from their side, then we, of course, have the right to our side. I'm not sure personally that from a strategic point of view, I would put that as a first priority now. I first of all would like to see even on a very basic level, that our Jews around the world and Israelis and Noahides will feel comfortable and safe if they go and burn a synagogue in Australia on Sabbath. It's something which is totally unacceptable. The amount of anti-Semitism going on in the United States today is way beyond what it was for years. And, in as much as I would be very happy to get to the level of the aspirations, which the red heifer, of course, leads us to, I think my personal feeling of the down to earth at the moment, we have a very heavy struggle at the moment to handle with. And with God's help, it has been, thank goodness, very successful, but it's not over with. And, it's also strenuous that people have been going through a pretty difficult period for already 21 months. It's not something which is simple. I mean, I'm already not that young, but if I take the kids, the age of my children in their early 30s, it's quite a struggle to go through with small children and have a sense of uncertainty. So, I mean, I would extremely be glad, as the rabbi is suggesting, that through the Red Heifer inspiration, we'll see soon, either through the Golan Heights, Shiloh, or whatever, to see us getting to the optimal result of redemption in the true sense of the word. But, one of the things I think we've been blessed with in the course of many years is our patience and our understanding that God has his own timetable, which I don't necessarily know the timetable at the moment, but it's certainly things are happening nowadays much faster than they were 20, 30, or certainly 100 years ago. And Dan, Rabbi Chacham Dan, I would be the first one to be grateful to see that the rabbi's aspirations will actually be met in the near future. Even if it takes a bit longer, as we find in the 13 principles of Maimonides, I'm willing to wait. But first of all, that everybody should feel as much as possible. I know it sounds very down to earth, but I seriously mean it. Peace and tranquility in their lives, whether they live here or live abroad.
Yeah.
Here or
authentic. Abroad. We want authentic change in the world, not some show. Yeah, it definitely so that lives will be transformed, and I think the rabbi's message today touched on that. And so people, we all have room to grow infinitely, for sure. So does anybody else in the group have a comment or question they want to ask of Rabbi Hirschler or Rabbi Goldberg? Everybody's quiet.
I think there's one definite task that we have, and this I definitely include the Noahides in being part of this, even probably more successfully than myself because of your surroundings. We must bring this world to have more sensitivity to human life. And that was one of the most fundamental codes that was mentioned in Genesis already. And it doesn't happen. I was teaching a Talmud class today what happened in the time of the Roman Empire. You had these, stages and theaters.
Brutal.
And they were trying to, brutal. And you go to a place like Italy or Spain today, as if you're going to a tourist attraction, and they're showing you how people were proud of killing people with oxen and the way the animals treated each other. I mean, it's horrendous. We should be embarrassed of the past, but to make out of it something pleasant today, since when?
Yeah, I think that's the whole point of being a Noahide is civility for sure, and taking it to the higher level, away from primitive mindsets. Yeah, I really hope people catch the message and grow from it. Anybody else? Bart, you got any comments? Ange, James, Martina, Vincent?
It's okay. If not, everything is fine. Everything's fine. I shocked you today. We all shocked you today. It's okay.
I'm just thinking, when is a good time to visit?
A great time. I already am willing to host you. Take it for granted. My wife makes nice meals.
Okay.
You can come.
I'm thinking October.
It will be great. It will be great to see those who will come in October. Fair enough.
In South African English, they say, just give me a shout when you want to come.
Yes.
What I can say. An open invitation.
Excellent. Well, yeah, Ange has asked me to come in October as well. I don't know if I can make it this year, but it's on my bucket list. And as Hashem opens the opportunity, I mean, one day at a time. But it's a joy.
Looking forward.
Yeah, I look forward to it also.
I promise you,
Rabbi Goldberg, are we aiming for next week?
Hopefully, yes. Next week. I think there will be a problem next week. I will tell you. Let's continue with this week because we have a fast next Sunday that we're finishing the fast. We're finishing it at 8:30 at night, or the time that we're starting the lesson.
The class, yeah.
So to stay.
Yes, so you'll need to eat, yes.
I need to eat something from time to time, After a day that I didn't eat, I need to eat something, usually. Okay, let me think about this, and we'll see if I have an idea what to do. Okay?
Well, thank you. I really enjoyed last week's lesson. Really got me thinking a lot of different things about the future. And today's lesson as well. Excellent material, Rabbi. So I've got it all recorded and it's up there on social media. So let's aim for next week. Rabbi Hirschler, always a joy to have you stop in our class. It means a lot to us, and thank you. Until next week, we're gonna, or not next week. We may probably not be on next week, but we'll let you know. Keep an eye out there for our ads. Until then, have a wonderful, wonderful week, everybody. Bye for now.
Bye, everybody. Bye.
Bye-bye. All the best.
Thank you.
Bye.